Sure. Here's a 1,000-word YouTube video script about the 2026 Corvette sedan, including price, engine details, and a natural channel intro, with no headings or bold text. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love staying ahead of the curve with the latest in performance cars, future releases, and automotive trends, you're in the right place. We bring you deep dives, exclusive previews, and real insights into what's coming next in the world of cars. Today, we're diving into something big, something that's already stirring up a ton of buzz in the auto community. Yes, we're talking about the 2026 Corvette sedan. That's right, a Corvette. As a sedan, this could be one of the most surprising and controversial moves in recent General Motors history, and we're going to unpack everything you need to know, from its engine and performance to price and design. So, let's get into it. First off, the idea of a Corvette sedan might sound like a contradiction. Corvette, for decades, has stood as the symbol of American sports car muscle: low, wide, aggressive two-door coupes and convertibles. But with the rise of performance sedans and GM's desire to expand the Corvette brand into more of a lineup, similar to how Porsche evolved with the Panamera and Cayenne, it makes strategic sense. The 2026 Corvette sedan is expected to be a four-door, high-performance vehicle aimed squarely at the likes of the Porsche Taycan, Tesla Model S Plaid, and BMW M5 CS. GM isn't simply slapping a Corvette badge on a fast Malibu. This car is being developed on an entirely new performance architecture, likely related to the one used for the upcoming electric Corvette variants, but with enough modifications to give it proper sedan proportions and interior space. Now, let's talk about what's under the hood. Or, more accurately, what's under the floor, because yes, the 2026 Corvette sedan is expected to be fully electric. GM has already confirmed its plans for a Corvette EV, and the sedan will likely share a version of that Ultium battery platform. Early estimates point to a dual or even tri-motor setup, with at least 1,000 horsepower possible in the top performance trim. That would put it head-to-head with the Model S Plaid's 1,020 horsepower and 0 to 60 time of under 2 seconds. But power isn't the only thing GM is aiming for. The sedan will reportedly focus heavily on handling, aerodynamics, and range. Expect magnetic ride control, rear-wheel steering, torque vectoring, and possibly even an active aerodynamic system to adapt to different driving conditions. The goal is to make it not just fast in a straight line, but legitimately capable around a track and refined on the road. On the battery side, GM's Ultium cells are scalable, and for the Corvette sedan, range is expected to be somewhere in the 350 to 400 mile zone depending on the trim and performance settings. Fast charging capabilities will likely allow for 200 miles of range to be added in around 15 to 20 minutes, which keeps it competitive with other EVs in this space. Inside, the 2026 Corvette sedan is expected to offer a more upscale cabin than the C8. Think a driver-focused cockpit, premium materials like Alcantara, real aluminum, and carbon fiber trims, along with a large digital gauge cluster and a wide infotainment screen integrated smoothly across the dash. GM is likely to keep physical controls for key functions, something performance drivers still appreciate, but expect a futuristic interface that blends tech and tactile feel. One of the biggest advantages of going electric is space. With no bulky transmission tunnel or large internal combustion engine taking up space, the Corvette sedan will offer surprisingly good legroom for both front and rear passengers. Expect the rear seats to be usable by adults, which is a first in Corvette history. Trunk space will be expanded too, with both a front trunk and a rear cargo area. So what about the price? This is where it gets interesting. The base trim of the Corvette sedan could start around $80,000 to $90,000, which undercuts the Porsche Taycan and matches the lower Model S trims. But when you get into the high-performance Z06 or ZR1 style trims with the full tri-motor setup and advanced track capabilities, the price could push well past $120,000, potentially even approaching $140,000 fully loaded. That sounds like a lot for a Corvette, but in the world of high-end electric sedans with supercar-level performance, it's actually a competitive price point. And speaking of trims, GM is likely to borrow naming conventions from the C8 lineup. So we could see an entry-level Stingray version with dual motors, a mid-tier Z06 with added performance features, and a top-tier ZR1 or E-Raid performance variant with 3 motors and max output. There's also a possibility of a future Zora version, something ultra-limited and aimed at hypercar performance territory. Visually, early renderings and spy shots show a silhouette that's sleek and muscular, with short overhangs, a long wheelbase, and the signature Corvette stance. The 4-door layout doesn't compromise on aggression. Expect dramatic LED lighting, large wheels, aggressive air intakes, and a sloping fastback-style roofline that gives the car a coupe-like profile despite the added practicality. Of course, the internet has already reacted. Some purists are upset, saying a Corvette should never have 4 doors. But the fact is, the sports car market is evolving. Brands like Porsche, Ferrari, and even Lamborghini have found ways to enter the SUV or sedan space without watering down their core DNA. If done right, this move could open the Corvette brand to a whole new audience, those who want everyday usability without giving up performance. And this is exactly what GM is betting on, a Corvette brand that lives beyond just one model. A high-performance sub-brand that can compete with AMG, M, and Porsche across multiple body styles. The 2026 Corvette sedan is just the beginning of that expansion. Whether you're a longtime Corvette fan or just someone looking for a high-performance EV that's a little different from the usual suspects, the 2026 Corvette sedan is definitely one to watch. It's bold, controversial, and exciting, and that's exactly what Corvette has always been about. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth looks at upcoming performance cars, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more coming, including coverage on the next-gen Camaro, Mustang updates, and all the major EV releases you won't want to miss. Stay tuned and we'll see you in the next one. Would you like a version with visuals or text overlays timed for video editing?